Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and today I want to talk about the Hunter patch notes for 5.1, which is the upcoming World of Warcraft patch. So as you might know, Hunters right now are really good in PvP. They can basically burst down every single class within a matter of seconds, and this is because of a set of abilities that we have right now. So before I actually go over the Hunter changes that they are making to patch 5.1, let's actually talk about the way that we burst damage right now as a Beast Mastery Hunter. So the burst damage that we do comes from a set of abilities in combination with a trinket, in combination with all kinds of other stuff. So first of all we have the skill called Bestial Wrath. And this skill makes your hunter pet invulnerable to any kind of CC, and it does a little bit more damage for a little while. Next up we have Stampede, which summons a bunch of other pets that you have that also attacks your target. We also have Lynx Rush, which does 9 attacks in 4 seconds that deal 200% damage each. Now this in combination with the 4 set bonus of the PvP gear that grants extra agility when you use rapid fire, the burst damage of the trinkets and whatnot, we are probably the strongest burst class in 5.05, because when we combine all those abilities that I just named, we are basically unstoppable. And arguably we are a little bit too strong right now, especially when it comes to PvP, because in combination with silencing shot and all that kind of stuff, we are basically immune to everything. And we can just do a lot of damage within a few seconds. Especially when you keep in mind we also have a skill called Readiness, which resets all the cooldowns of all skills that we have, and after that we can burst all this stuff again. Now Blizzard looked at this and thought, well, this looks a little bit too strong. Everyone's complaining about BM Hunters, let's just nerf them, not just a tiny little bit, but let's take a look at the patch notes. So as you can see, Lynx Rush has changed. Now Lynx Rush used to do a lot of damage within 4 seconds before, now it's a bleeding effect that causes damage every 3 seconds over a period of 15 seconds that can stack up to 9 times. Now Lynx Rush has been changed obviously, and instead of doing all that burst damage within 4 seconds, it does a bleeding effect. And now, I didn't go on the PTR to test it or whatever, but it's an obvious nerf to the burst damage that we can do. Instead of burst we get a bleeding effect, and I imagine the output of DPS is the same when you take it over 15 seconds. But for PvP this is going to be a huge nerf, because well, we can't do the burst damage that we used to do. Oh well, I've been testing some Blink Strike instead of Lynx Rush as well, so this isn't the biggest change at all. It's a sad change, but it was expected. Especially because this probably doesn't nerf the PvE damage that hunters can do. However, the second change is basically nerfing the BM Hunters 100% in PvP. And that is Bestial Wrath no longer grants hunter pets immunity to crowd control effects, and instead now breaks existing crowd control effects when activated. So what you have to realize is that at the moment, hunter pets cannot be CC'd when they are under the Bestial Wrath effect. Now what you have to realize as well is that the hunter damage comes by about 50% or even 60% from the pet. Now I don't know the exact math on this, but if the hunter pet isn't attacking anymore, isn't that just a instant nerf to about 60% of our damage? So how are you going to deal with 5.1 hunters? Well, you basically just CC his pet when he's in Bestial Wrath, when it's a big red pet, and you're basically done with it. Just fear it or stun it or whatever, and all the hunter damage is basically for 60% nullified. So in general this removes the possibility of bursting as a hunter completely and makes us a pretty terrible PvP class. So I guess in patch 5.1 we are going to be solely used for silencing and trapping and all that kind of shit in maybe 5v5 arena, but in 2v2 and in battlegrounds we are going to be pretty useless. Now the other changes that they have done aren't really that bad. Steady Shot, Cobra Shot and especially Barrage can now be cast on the move, which is nice. And Aspect of the Fox has been removed anyway, because nobody used that in any situation anyway. Now before I give my real opinion on all of this, I want to see the patch for myself. So I agree, hunters are a little bit too strong in their burst damage right now, and I expected a slight nerf, but this is basically making the hunter class completely useless in PvP. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Have a great day and I'll see you again. Bye!